when I think about climate policy, immediately first thing I think about is the UNFCCC, the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. And within the Framework Convention, countries have submitted their national determined contributions, which are their national plans for climate action. And FAO, as well as my own organization, CCAPS, we both looked at how these NDCs, as we call them, address agriculture. And we find that agriculture is a sector of priority, both for adaptation and mitigation. So we can certainly say that agriculture within the climate policy context is a priority. But then when we go into it in further detail, the kinds of actions which are proposed in the agricultural sector, they vary. So it's hard to say if they're truly transformational or not, because transformation is beyond incremental action in response to climate change. So I think we need to do a little bit more analysis to understand what is envisaged in these actions and whether they're actually going to deliver outcomes which are transformational. There are some key actions which we need to take now. And these range from adopting technologies and practices. It could be improving water management practices. It could be adopting better seeds and better varieties. So a number of technologies and practices which can increase your resilience to climate change. But together with that, there are other elements. So there is a very important element is on empowerment of farmer organizations to respond to the climate challenges that they're faced with. There is a whole dimension around digitization of the sector to enable farmers to receive climate-related advisories, index-based insurance, these sort of services in addition to the technology suite. Then making finance, climate finance, as well as other finance available for farmers to respond to climate change, because many of these actions require investments, and how can we mobilize that? So that's another aspect that we're focusing on. Then there is still more around the policy frameworks, so creating that enabling environment for farming communities as well as the different actors in the food systems. So I mean, there are a few of these actions, like I described, which we need to do now, and but there are also these other actions which we need to do in the medium to long term, because the climate challenge is incredible. Like, there is no way that with the current technologies, current financing, current approaches that we are aware of, that we can realize the transformation to achieve climate goals as well as the sustainable development goals. So we really need to step up efforts, and that's really what we're looking at in the medium and long term. So here we are looking at what are the next generation technologies which are not currently in adoption but which could be ready, which could be adopted by farmers, and which could have an impact on sustainable development goals, for example. Transformation is an action or a set of actions which can help us advance towards the SDGs. And just to step back a little bit, when we say transformation, what do we mean? And this varies, and the definition varies in the literature, in the presentations we've had, and so on. But my understanding, in our understanding from my organization, is a transformed food system is one that achieves the SDGs. The reasoning behind the need for transformation is that if we have to achieve the SDGs, we need to change the way we fundamentally produce and consume food. And that's the thinking. And so I mean, and the other aspect I want to bring is I'm working for the Climate Change, Agriculture and Food Security program of the CGIAR, but it's not that we're working only on climate action and the climate action related SDG. We have a focus, we have a target on poverty elevation as well. So when we are working on climate actions, we are also at the same time trying to alleviate poverty. And it's sort of a confluence of both of these factors, together with other benefits which we try to realize that we're trying to do, certainly in the context of transformation.